Monday morning. We have a public safety meeting.
November 4th.
Yeah.
I'm free in the morning.
Does 9 work for everybody? Kind of get it done, get it over with.
9:30.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 25th Washougal City Council Workshop Meeting. I apologize for taking a spot away from the table, but I don't think any of you want what I've contracted, so I'm going to sit up here and be in my own misery. Jennifer, could you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Costin? Here. Councilmember Greenlee?
Here.
Councilmember Morris?
Here.
Councilmember McDaniel? Here. Councilmember Shoemaker?
Here.
Councilmember Delavar? And Councilmember Russell.
I saw them both earlier in the day. I would expect they'll be here.
If they do come in during the meeting, let's just make notes in the minutes of their arrival.
Okay.
We're at that point in the agenda for any comments from the public for the council this evening.
We're talking about the first thing we do.
Should I go up there and just talk?
Actually, right where you're at is great. If you could give your name and address would be wonderful.
Okay, well, I'm Caitlin Hanley, and I'm from Skamania, and I'm here to support the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society. And, I wanted to tell you about, a trip that I took last week. I went to Las Vegas for the No More Homeless Pets Conference, and it was great there. I learned a lot, but one thing that really stuck out in my mind was how close we are as a nation to becoming extinct. In the 70s, we were killing maybe 17 million animals annually in shelters. Now it's under 4 million. And we are really close to doing this. We could be a no-kill nation by 2015. And the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society, they support this. So I would like to ask you to keep it in the budget because this is so important to me and to so many other people. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you for what you're doing with your calendar project as well.
Thank you.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak?
Yes. Don Boland, 32934 Southeast 20th Street. And I came tonight to look at the budget. I'm hoping that I see some good thinking outside the box. The one, on items 3 and 4 though, as you know, I've been talking with business people on the Highway 14 project. And I would hope that, and Trevor is trying to set up a meeting with the state to give the input from the businessmen. And as you know, I would like to see contracts maybe signed after they hear from the business community, particularly the one individual that invested $8 million. And in the plan he saw, he said he wouldn't have invested the money had he seen that plan. And as I understand now, there's also some changes that I'm not aware of. But nonetheless, I would like to have the business community get their input to WashDOT through the council. The other thing I'd like to think of is on the sewer. And I'm not in the city, but to me, that looks like it was quite an increase. And it reminded me a little bit of business as usual, and I don't think this is a business as usual time. I would think one of the things you may want to look at as a package, getting an outsource and getting a bid from the outside to see what it would cost to provide that service. The presentation was excellent, and it showed all the reserves and all the mechanics, but I didn't get a feel for whether they had attempted to save anything. And the only my thing I saw is a salary increase there of 5% and then 7%. The last challenge I would like to maybe think, and I know it's a state issue, is the Davis-Bacon Act. But I would like to see any ground support to see if that could be repealed in Olympia. Because right now that act probably costs the city and therefore the residents a third more for every construction project than it really should be. And I guess because it is a time of crisis, I would say now's the time to do something with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bolin. Mrs. Terrell.
I would be speaking about the Humane Society, except that I know that you are good people and I don't have to beat on the dead horse. You understand the need. I was surprised to learn that Camas doesn't donate to that, and now I'm going to go and harass the people in Camas. My main concern tonight is that it's time that we got a tree ordinance that was tree friendly and it did something to protect them. I find it very interesting that the man down the street that I complained to you about months ago came in, bought the property just on G Street, close to E Street, knocked down a huge, huge maple tree, 6, 8 of these around, I'm sure, knocked it flat, did something to the house and put it up for sale. He didn't do it because he wanted to live there, he did it because he didn't like the goddamn tree apparently. Well, it's been up for sale since and I'm delighted and I hope he never sells it. But tree protection takes planning and time and you got plenty on your plates, but I would like you to put that on the back burner because this is an old city with a lot of old trees. You don't go down to the store and buy a big old tree. It takes time. And I would like you to start thinking about protecting the beautiful trees of Washougal.
I appreciate that suggestion. Thank you, Marilyn. Any other members of the public wishing to address the council? Yes.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Martinez, 500 Northwest 5th Avenue, Camas. I'm also a board member of the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society. I'm going to beat a dead horse for your entertainment this evening, but I will keep it brief. As you are presented with the 2011 budget this evening, I would appreciate it, as with many members of this community, if you would take a moment and think about the impact of lessening the amount of funding on the service agreement between the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society and the City of Camas and Washougal. I'm under the impression that a budget amendment does need to be presented when you do vote on the budget here in the coming month. So again, the board of the West Columbia Gorge Humane Society would appreciate if the City Council would do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? Okay, going into agenda bill discussions. Community development. David, who's taking this one?
I'll start, Mayor, and then I'll turn it over to county staff. What's before you is an interlocal agreement amendment to adjust the way that the surcharge funds generated from House Bill 2060 are allocated in the community. And I'll ask the county staff to come and talk about that. Kate, Bud?
Yes, hi.
Housing and Community Development.
Hi, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me for a few minutes today. I really appreciate your valuable time. My name is Kate Budd. I work with Clark County. I'm a program coordinator there, and I focus on the homeless programs. And today we are here to ask for your signature and approval of the revision of the 2060 interlocal agreement. Back in 2000.